Hi, I'm Jake Overgaard, University of Minnesota Extension educator in Winona County. Today I'm going to be showing you briefly how to use the USDA's Web Soil Survey. It's an online tool that you can use to explore some of the information about the soils on the land that you're farming or are interested in farming. And yeah, it has a lot of features. Today we're just going to kind of just get you in the door and help you figure out how to navigate to the land you're interested in and some of the functions of the Web Soil Survey, including how to export and download some of the reports that you want. So let's get into the tool. Alright, so if you have navigated to the home page for the Web Soil Survey, the link is below so you can get there. The only thing that I've had issues with in the past is different web browsers perform differently, so I think there's information off to the right here about which one to use, and then I've typically had better luck with Firefox, but try it out. If you're having issues, maybe switch up and try something else. But to get going here, we'll click on the Start WSS green button, and that will get us loading here. The first location you're going to get to right away when you click on the button is a map of the United States, and so you're going to want to navigate to the piece of land that you're interested in learning about. You can do that a number of ways. There's just a basic zoom feature, which is this button up here. You can use the pan tool to move around from where you're zooming in and out of. What I find is pretty simple is to just type in an address. You could start by just typing in a city like Lewiston, Minnesota, and you'd get to that city, and you could navigate from there using the zoom and pan. Otherwise, you could type in a full address and get to that specific location. So I'm going to do a full address and get to a spot, and then we'll go from there. And so this is where I end up when I type in an address. I just actually type the address of my the home farm where I grew up, and I get to this. The building site is here, and just for fun, I'll use this field over here as kind of the trial for this exercise. We will want to create an area of interest, is what they call it, or an AOI. There are two different ways to do that. This first button is for if you have a square or rectangular field, you can select using that. Otherwise, this is for a boundary that is not perfectly square or rectangular. So I'll use that one on this, and so you just click your boundaries to go around the field. Doesn't have to be super perfect. But just go around there, and then when you get to the final corner or spot you need to click in, do a double click, and that will create your AOI. Here you can see the area that I selected, and it's shaded. From here, the first place you'll probably want to head to is a soil map to see what soils are in this field. So click on the tab up above here, soil map, and you'll get a number of outputs. The first is this table on the left, and that just shows the different soil series that you have, as well as the number of acres within those soils and the percent of our area of interest. So in this example, we can see that this Foreman-Busey complex is 29 acres, or just about 72% of the land in here, and we've got a number of different ones as well. So that's the first function, and then the map shows the same. So that Foreman-Busey, that 915C2, that is this area here, and then you can see the other soils that make up the field. After you've taken a look at your soil map, I would head over to the Soil Data Explorer, which is the tab just to the right of the Soil Map tab. Click on that, and you'll get some additional options. I would stay on this suitabilities and limitations for land use tab. And what I would like to look at, and is probably interested mostly for those farmers out there, is the vegetative productivity. So do the drop down there and then select the crop productivity index. And then view rating. So the output that you get here is, based on those soils, how productive those soils are. So you get a map here of the productivity. And so red is bad. This is kind of a ponded area. Green is so-so. And as we get darker blue, we improve in quality. If you scroll down, it shows more in detail the rating on this column right here, and it's on a scale of 0 to 100, and just rates how productive those soils are and how well they produce a crop. So in this example, that Foreman-Busey complex, that is the most of that field is rated at a 65, which is not amazing. We have a Gonvik alone, which gets a 98, which is excellent. And so you can just see how the soils on the field differ and which are the best. I mentioned in the intro that you can get reports, and I'll show you how to do that now. So let's go back to our soil map, and we will click on Add to Shopping Cart. Now, you're not actually buying something, you're just saying, I want this information later. So click on Add to Shopping Cart. You can put a subtitle on it. I'm not going to do that. Click OK. So that should be in your shopping cart. Let's go over to our soil productivity information, and we'll add that to our shopping cart as well. Again, just click OK, don't need that subtitle. And then on the top row of tabs, let's go over to the shopping cart, and we'll see if we can't check out. Obviously, you don't need a credit card for this. Just click Checkout, and you have the option of getting it now or downloading later. I want it now. Here you can see what you end up with. It's kind of a long report. There might be more text than you're interested in, but you get the map of the field. Again, lots of text, so I'm just gonna zoom through some of this. We're gonna skip most of it. But we asked for a soil map, and so we got that. We also got the table that has the information of how many acres within that area of interest that particular soil makes up. And then again, we asked for the that crop productivity index. So I'm just scrolling through all of this. It's quite a bit. Yeah, so here's the map on the crop productivity, and again we have that table that we were looking at before, which has both the acreage for each soil and the rating for those soils. So this is something that you could save to your computer or have printed for future reference. Kind of a nice tool. There you have the USDA's Web Soil Survey. It's a pretty powerful tool, but we just went over how to navigate to the land that you're interested in learning more about, and how to export some of the basic information that might be useful to you. So I hope this introduction kind of helps you get to that point. Play around with it. There's a lot more that it offers, but some of these just basic functions are pretty helpful. So yeah. Good luck, and thanks for checking this out.